Hi, so today I want to redraw an old drawing that I've drawn previously. This is of a Grim Reaper, which I drew back in 2005-ish, thereabouts. I can't really remember, but it was a long time ago. And so I want to try and redraw this one. This is going to be a first in hopefully a series that I can keep up with and do it quite regular, where I redraw like some of my old drawings. And yeah, so when I'm going to like redraw this, I draw differently to the way I used to draw. Obviously back then I used to like pencil shade all my inks and that, and I used to think it was a real good idea. Still is a good idea, but I don't really like drawing like that anymore. So I'm just going to keep that to the side, and I'm going to try and draw this. Try and draw the overall shape first and see. So obviously I'm going to keep the overall shape how it is in that drawing. So we'll start sketching roughly. But I'm going to draw it different. I'm going to draw lots more details and a lot of black and white contrast and stuff. And I'm not going to like shade it in with pencils. Maybe like Copic markers or something later on. I don't really know. I want to keep the ragged look of the Grim Reaper. Can't really see the sketches at this point. I'll try and press a bit darker just so you can see. I'll sketch that in again. Like the main elements like the Reaper, Scythe, and try and get more like the ragged sort of elements on this cloak and hood. Just try and keep the fingers a bit more bony looking. Sketch them in there. Draw the thumb there. Just sketching it in real lightly, as you can see. It's often when it comes to the inking stage, it'll be a lot better looking drawing. You can be able to see it a bit more clearer. And that wooden details on the scythe, like stick. A lot of rags and stuff, which I'll just sketch in really quick with pencil. You can see, just try and loosely follow the design. I might put the full rib cage in there just to show, and then maybe the rest is maybe extra detail that wasn't there, maybe intestines and other stuff dripping. Yeah, that's a good idea. Just quickly mark in the ribs there and get back to the skull. I won't shadow the full skull face like I have done there. I think we'll make all this visible, this top bit, because it's, you know, it's different drawing, updated drawing, so I'm making updates as I go along, updating the drawing. So maybe draw more ragged bits on here, get a bit more detailed. Quickly mark the skull. So we've got our quick pencil sketch there, which you can hardly see. Let's have a look. Sure, there you can see like the basics there. So we'll start to ink this, and then we'll see what we can change as we're going along. Usually at the inking stage I change my mind and just jig things around a bit, so we'll see what we can do there. I'm just going to take a Copic marker and just fill in a few of the black areas real quick in a sketchy way. I'm not really too fussed about getting it accurate for now. We'll just try and get the main areas that I want dark. Just do it sketchy. Messed up that stick a bit, but come back to that. The thing I've learned about drawings is they evolve anyway. You know, the more you work on them, the more you can correct. Yeah, and did I say there'll be a bit of darkness down here? Like the rags and stuff. And then some darkness in the folds or the sleeve of there. Try and remember where the shadows are. And in the mouth there, and the nose socket maybe. Some darkness there, just work out some ways of adding that in. You can always clean up these little bits that I'm doing now. And maybe some more darkness at the side there. I'll just try and add that in. Thick darkness on the cape and the hood. And I think we'll go in with a thinner ink pen now. We've just highlighted all the areas we want to add. You can see it's looking way different to the previous drawing. It's becoming its own drawing, an updated version if you will. So I've got another ink pen now. I'll just start adding some details. I want this Grim Reaper to look quite rotten and ancient, decrepit, so it's a lot different to that other drawing. So we're adding lots of detail. Teeth as well, just try and draw them like a bit misshapen, a bit bent, out of place. start to fill in other areas as well, like the side. I want it to be like real wooden texture, like lots of lines, scribbles and things, like wood texture. So just try and add that in as best you can. Just try it. Not really got good lighting today, but it's one of them things. I just thought I'd do a video like this because I haven't done one of these in a long time, so it's about time that I did. Try and draw in something cool. Like other rotten looking lines, maybe like remnants of flesh on the rib cage there, maybe something we can come back to later. Try drawing this hand a bit now, I think, because it needs some work on it. Remember, try and make it more bony looking fingers. Looks okay for now. Probably don't look correct, but it'll do. Like a big mass of intestines, try and make a bit more of it, like stomach and guts, and I don't know, can flesh it out later. So a bit of this now, just add some like little details on here. Almost sketching with the ink pens still, but you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to do anything you want. It's your drawings when you're not working on them, so it's try and make that part of that, because that melt bit's holding that. So, and when you're drawing these curved bits, you can either use like some kind of curve thing, or you can just freehand draw it, but turn the paper. I usually just turn the paper and then hopefully get a curl or a curved line. Sometimes you mess up like that, but usually if you mess up, say like I did there, maybe just add in a little crack or something, or something something like that, you know, like a little bit of damage, just to like hide your mistake. Little trick there, little tip. Just draw lines just on here just to suggest the sharpness of the blade. So that blunt bit there that's stinted slightly somehow, don't know how that happened. Yeah, and then obviously they're metal bits, so yeah, on the things, so we can probably try and add a bit more in there. Oh, I've got that wood bit at the end, there we go, poking through, a bit more shadow, try and define these objects like the side of that, bit of shadow, and then we'll come back to this. So the next bit I want to do is add a lot of like cross hatching and things. This bit, oh wait a minute, I just missed the top of the top of the head, the hood. Just noticed that. There we go. So yeah, I'll probably do this like as a time lapse, because it's just me like doing a lot of cross hatching, you know, like just to suggest the shadow and things like that. And I want to come back to it, a lot of cross hatching like that. So then we'll come back to it. I'll probably add some nice colour to it and see how it looks, really. Try and, you know, I mean, it's looking different. So as you can see now, there's still a little bit to go on it before I colour it, but a lot of these, you know, ragged bits of the cloak I want to keep as is, really. Just a little bit of clean up areas. I want a bit more done on this, the side, maybe ink a bit more on that, and maybe see if I can add any details on it, because it looks a bit flat and it doesn't look properly connected to this, but when it's coloured it'll look part of the design. So we can see how it's come along from that and become its own sort of drawing. Still the Grim Reaper, little few smudges on there, but I might do the black background perhaps, maybe, if I'm going to finish this drawing, which I will do. I'll add some colour now, so we'll see how that goes. So I'm using Copic markers. I'm just going to blast in some quick colour. Doesn't have to be you know, a lot of time took on this sort of process. Just add some quick greys and stuff like that, just to flesh out and get some of the ink work in there. You know, like enlightened by this colour. I'll use that grey for that. I shall use a darker cool grey, I think, for the actual hood and cloak. Get them Copic markers squeaking a bit. I always use the brush tip of these Copic markers because that's just the best, you know, end to use. They've got the chisel tip one on the other end, but it's not really, I rarely use that, to be honest. I think most artists do that. So I want a lot of shadow on the shadow areas, so we want this grey to be darker. Squeak squeak. Let's try and get a lot of where I've cross hatched it all in dark. Just try and use this grey for that. If I miss anything, it doesn't really matter. I can go back, add more to it. Just try and get all the areas if I can with this dark grey. I'm using a dull ivory for the skin, if you can call it the skin tone. It's more like the rotten skeleton tone. Let's go for all the darker areas, then we can flesh this out a bit more with some warm greys. But it's mainly best just to go for the darker areas that I've highlighted in here. Some of this flesh will just be more pink with the guts and stuff like that, but we'll just see how that goes. And we'll draw, well, not draw, but colour the hand in as well. And we can probably do the same with that. Add some warm greys just to soften it a bit, because it's a bit of a bright colour for a Grim Reaper, but a good colour. Some of this down here will be like pinks and purples for that, all that rot down there. Got a cool grey 3, which I can add a bit more on that side now, maybe define some of the shadow on it a bit more, and on this metal bit. And I could just blend some areas on the edges of here, just to use up some of the ink pen. Really, not really too much of that, since there's not many areas I've left. Now I'll use a warm grey 5. I think I might use it on the wood, the shadow of the wood area there as well. I can just pick out the dark areas. and also the dark areas that we need to do on the face. I was thinking maybe under the eyes, some of these chest areas, like rotten bits that have just turned, don't know, like a rotten colour. Some of them guts as well, the shadows of them. Try and get them just added in slightly. Trying to define these fingers a bit more. Use a bit of shadow on them, just to try and define them bits. I'm going to use some pale grape, which is a real light pink. I just want to flood them areas with the guts and intestines. You can barely see like a pink colour, but it just adds a nice base colour to like guts and like fleshy areas like that. And you can go over the areas that you've done with, you know, the ivory colour and the like a warm grey as well. Just add in that area there, and maybe if there's any other dark areas that I want to add, then I'll add them. And it all to recede into the darkness, you know, like these bits and pieces around the cloak where it meets the Grim Reaper's skull. Maybe some shadow area there. And you can go over areas that you've already coloured as well. It adds a darker layer of each colour. Sometimes I do that because it adds more darkness to it and just a lot of extra bits, which I quite like. I'd say that's basically it. It's more of a concept type sketch, but as you can see, bring that out a bit. Could do with doing a bit more darker, because some of that grey looks slightly muted slightly, but I just wanted to redraw that other drawing, bring that in. As you can see, that was my style of drawing back in 2005, possibly 2004, I can't really remember. I know it was a long time ago, and it was several houses way back. And this is, you know, that way that I'm drawing now, sketching and just trying to work on my art really, just adding way more detail. I like the sketchy style because that's the way I seem to draw now, so I stick to that. It's more like a concept-y sort of sketch way. So anyway, I hope you like that new drawing video. I ain't done one for a while, but I hope to do more of these when I've got time. As usual, there's a few commissions and card sets and other things that I've got to do, and I think illustrations that are going to appear in books and things like that, so I'll go try and work on them and my own projects, which I don't know if I'm ever going to get them done, but it's nice to hope that I will get some of my own like books out there eventually. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers now.